Hello, welcome back. This episode is with special guest Lauren Maxwell, who is a back pain for yoga specialist and a coach. Lauren has a full podcast conversation with me at CandiceWoo.com/Lauren Maxwell. So check that out to find more about Lauren. And this practice here is a guided practice that includes mudra, which is gestures with the hands, as well as a few poses and movement to guide you into a breathwork practice, which is Viloma 1, a pranayama that is from the tradition of yoga. I love how Lauren talks about feeling safe and centered here and knowing that you're breathing, being conscious of your breath, as well as the mudra that she's using, that is the gesture of inner secret, protection from limiting beliefs and releasing beliefs, as well as how she explores with you how to expand the inner landscape of the mind. So grab a yoga mat or find a space where you can do a little bit of movement with your body. Grab a blanket because you'll need that for the practice, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome. My name is Lauren and I'm so glad to be here with you today and honored to share a breathwork practice for centering and protection. In the classical yoga text, the Yoga Sutras from Sri Patanjali, we learn that the point of all yoga, all its many components, is simply to still the fluctuations of the mind. We all know that the world today especially does not lend itself to quieting the mind. There's a lot of noise and a lot of chaos, and pranayama or breath work is a beautiful way to find tranquility. Working with the breath is a subtle and powerful approach to soothing the nervous system and shifting the reality of the body, whether it's the physical body, the subtle organic body, or the emotions. Because we breathe all day, every day, it's easy to forget what a magical way this can be to explore a sense of feeling safe and protected and centered and grounded. So that's what I hope you experience after breathing today. In Yoga, A Gem for Women by Gita Iyengar, she talks about this beautifully. She says, just as the moon is not reflected clearly in the turbid waters of a river, so also the soul is not properly reflected in an oscillating mind. A clear mind alone reflects the soul. For self-realization, the fluctuations of the mind have to be removed. Breathwork is one way to work with mind and body to help find that quiet calmness. The breath is known to clear toxins, release and move stored emotion, balance the subtle body or the energetic body, even help change the body structure, and to shift consciousness. I've experienced all of these things to be really true and powerful in my own life, so I'm super happy to be able to share them here today. Also in Yoga, A Gem for Women, Gita Iyengar says that pranayama steadies the pulse, makes the body supple, and the complexion radiant. The sutras also say simply that pranayama brings a pure mind. So pranayama, I think, has a bit of mystery and confusion surrounding it sometimes. So I just wanted to give you a very clear introduction to what pranayama is. Prana means air or breath or vital life force, which is a really nice and simple way to summarize that. And ayama means expansion of length, breadth, or volume. When we join those two words together, we understand that pranayama means directing or controlling the breath, or put another way, directing life energy through conscious breathing. So it's kind of gathering the magical life force of the universe and then using it intentionally within the body to produce a desired result. There are many different forms and styles of pranayama. The one that we're going to be exploring today is called Viloma 1. Some of the breathing practices within pranayama are quite advanced and really should be explored with the help of an experienced teacher. But Viloma 1 is one that is quite accessible and powerful that we can explore here together today. Viloma means against the grain, and Viloma 1 is interrupted inhalation. So we'll be working with interrupting the inhalation very intentionally, and I'm going to talk you through everything. Ideally, in a pranayama practice, we would prepare the body and mind and nervous system together to really optimize the experience. So we're harnessing vital life force and we want to make the most of it, right? Well, hopefully someday we can explore that in person together. And for today, we're going to be doing a few things to lightly open the rib cage and activate the energetic channels of the body so that the prana can flow more freely. I have provided some images over on my Instagram, which is lauren.yoga, to support your practice today. You're welcome to reference that or simply to move through it as it feels best to you. There's a blanket setup that I do recommend using if at all possible. You can use any blankets or towels that you have at home, as long as they're folded as firmly and neatly as possible. Folding the blankets carefully is important because it enables the body to release fully into the support without any distractions. The point of this blanket setup is to open the rib cage and open the chest and support the entirety of the torso and the spine so that you can access the breadth and the depth of the lungs without any strain. This careful preparation allows the pranayama to bring its fullest benefits to the body, the mind, and the nervous system. When working with the breath, it's important to avoid any signs of stress or strain. The work is very delicate and uplifting and not meant to be anxiety-provoking. So if at any point you find yourself experiencing stress, simply return to normal breathing. That might be exactly what your body is asking for today. We work with breath retention for many reasons, and it's nice to think of it almost as a percolator. So when we retain the breath, we hold this beautiful life force energy of the universe inside of us for a moment to let it work its magic and percolate, and then we release. If you experience any anxiety when you try it, just take a nice exhalation instead and try retention another day. This practice is completely yours, so please feel empowered to ease into it and care for your own needs in a way that invites tranquility and peace for the nervous system rather than excitement. Now, I want to invite you to pause the recording and prepare your blanket setup if you haven't done so yet. Now that the blankets are ready, sit down on the blankets and cross the shins in the middle of each shin. The feet will rest underneath the knees and you'll find yourself in Sukhasana or easy pose. The hands can rest on the thighs and take a look and see if the knees are up above the hip socket. You want the knees to be in line with the hip socket or below. If they're above the hip sockets, no worries. Simply take the head blanket off of your setup or find another towel or blanket nearby, fold it, and place it underneath your hips. You want to add enough height so that the knees are in line with the hip socket or below. The point of this is so that we can work with a long neutral spine. If the knees are above the hip socket, the lower spine is rounding. We already round our spine a lot in everyday life with technology or slouching while using our devices or sitting at a desk or in the car. So we are choosing to work with a long spine here, partly because it does open the energetic channels so that prana will flow more freely in our breathwork practice. Now that you've found your seat, close the eyes. Soften the skin of the eyes and soften the skin of the face. Begin to watch the breath. Be a witness to your own inhalation and exhalation. You may find that it begins to soften or deepen or expand. We're going to work with a mudra today. A mudra is a gesture or a seal. Mudra translates to bringing forth enchantment or pleasure, which is a beautiful thing to work with. The hands and fingers contain so much energetic content that mudra can be a powerful way to call forth certain things into our life or into our body or into our mind. Today we're going to work with Gupta Mudra, gesture of the inner secret. Gupta Mudra provides protection from our limiting beliefs. It's helpful for exploring and releasing limiting beliefs that keep us from experiencing the safety of our true inner being. It reduces stress and supports function of the immune system. It helps to relax the shoulders, neck, face, and head which can be helpful for neck pain and TMJ. Most of all, Gupta Mudra enhances a sense of centering and safety, which is what I hope it might offer you today. To begin, interlace the fingers loosely with the fingers pointing towards the chest. Interlace them so that the right thumb is on top. I recommend doing the interlacing towards the middle knuckle or slightly above, depending on the size and shape of your hands and fingers. Now bring the base of the hands gently together, and if the hands or fingers feel too restricted or tight here, simply take the base of the hands apart and bring the interlacing of the fingers closer to the fingertips. Then bring the base of the hands together, cross the right thumb over the left thumb, and bring the hands gently down in front of the abdomen. Close the eyes now. Return to watching the breath. Now soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Soften the elbows away from the sides of the torso so that you find some buoyancy in the side chest and in the armpits. Allow the mudra, the gesture, to be wide and soft. Sense the earth underneath both sit bones. From the support of the earth, reach up through the crown of the head, lengthening the spine. Soften the shoulder blades back and down onto the back, nestling them towards the back of the rib cage. Keep the buoyancy in the sides of the chest as you widen the very edges of the shoulders. Now maintain that width as you soften the neck, soften the eyes, and soften the skin of the face. Gupta Mudra. As limiting beliefs are released, I rest in the sanctuary of my true inner being. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. If you'd like, repeat these phrases with me internally as you continue to breathe softly and expansively. Breathing in, I know that I am centered. Breathing out, I know that I am safe. Breathing in, I know that I am centered. Breathing out, I know that I am safe. Release the mudra and open the eyes. Now we're going to do a bit of movement to open the channels of the body and prepare for an optimized breathing practice. Stand and take Tadasana, mountain pose. To take Tadasana, parallel the feet and stand with the feet at hips width apart so that the outer ankles are underneath the outer hips. Stand tall, reach through the crown of the head, widen the collarbones, widen the sternum, soften the grip on the diaphragm, soften the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth, and continue to breathe. Now take both arms and reach overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. With the reach of the arms, we lengthen the spine and open the side of the body. We lift the sides of the chest, which helps prepare us to access the lungs in pranayama. If you notice that as you're lifting the arms, your rib cage is kind of jutting out in the front or popping out so that you can put the biceps next to your ears, simply move the arms a little bit wider and forward in front of the ears. If the rib cage is popping forward, don't grip it back into place. Simply soften it towards neutral so the spine can be in a soft neutral position. Working with a neutral spine, again, is meant to prepare us for pranayama, allow the nervous system to be quiet. If the rib cage is popping forward, then the kidney band is being pressed inward. And that's right where the adrenals are and can be very exciting for the nervous system. So return to the reach of the hands, even if they're slightly in front of the body, and use that reach as you inhale to lengthen the spine upwards. Sense the earth underneath the soles of the feet, and from there, lengthen up through the crown of the head and then through the fingertips. Take your left wrist in your right hand and pull the left wrist over towards the right in a side bend. Keep the feet sensing the earth underneath them, and open the left side of the rib cage in a side bend. Continue to breathe. Breathe into the left side body, and as you inhale, find spaciousness. As you exhale, side bend a little further. Now return to reaching the arms up, lengthen the spine, and then take the right wrist in the left hand and pull the right wrist over towards the left, opening the right side of the body. From the planted feet, inhale spaciousness into the right side of the rib cage. Exhale, side bend more towards the left. Inhale, find spaciousness and expand. Exhale, side bend more towards the left. Find expansiveness and side bend towards the left. Now reach the hands up towards the sky once more, keeping the spine neutral and the rib cage and the kidney band quiet. Now, if you're in a place that allows it, I would love for you to take an Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. This pose is invigorating and is a great way to prepare the body for the rest of pranayama. As you take downward facing dog, focus on keeping a neutral spine as much as possible. This might mean bending the knees to take the hamstrings out of the equation. So while you're on the floor, use the strength of the arms and the shoulders to press the hips away from the hands. Press, 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 bending the knees if you need to. And the focus is pressing the hips up and away rather than pressing the heels towards the floor. So focus on lift and pushing the hips as far away from the hands as possible. Soften the base of the skull here, soften and lengthen the diaphragm, and push the hips away. If you're ready to try straightening the legs here, lift the skin of the thighs up and back as you press the hips away from the hands. Continue to breathe. Smooth out the breath as much as possible, especially as the work becomes sensational. After you've taken 10 breaths in Adho Mukha Svanasana, place the knees on the floor and come up. Next, you'll take a seat on the blankets and move into Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide. Place the hands on the lower shin directly above the ankles and use the grip of the hands to pull the chest through the upper arms. Lengthen through the crown of the head and keep the spine long and neutral even here. Soften the breath, soften the diaphragm, and as the knees move away from one another, you may find that the torso can go forward. For our purposes, we're going to keep the spine long, so if the spine begins to round and flex forward so that you can reach the floor, simply lengthen it again, even if it means not going down as far as you're used to. Lengthen through the crown of the head, and then turn at the pelvis over the thighs. And the spine simply moves along with the pelvis. Take 10 breaths here. Breathing in, I know that I am centered. Breathing out, I know that I am safe. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Next, you're going to take a spinal twist and then move into our breathing practice. Sit on the narrow edge of the blankets and place both feet towards the left side of the body and place only the right sit bone on the corner of the blanket. Both knees are facing forward, and with both feet to the left side, cross the left foot over the arch of the right foot and sit tall. This is Bharadvajasana, a seated twist, and all you'll do is lengthen up through the crown of the head, finding neutral spine again, and then turn towards the right. The left hand will rest palm facing outwards with the back of the hand against the right thigh. From there, you'll inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, twist towards the right. Place the right hand behind you as you twist, with the elbow out and the armpit again buoyant. The fingertips can be delicately cupped on the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, I know that I am breathing in. Exhale, I know that I am breathing out. Now come out of the twist and prepare to go to the other side. To twist towards the left, you will put the feet on the right side of the blanket, put the left sit bone on the edge corner of the blanket, and with both knees facing forward, the right foot can rest gently on top of the left arch. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist towards the left. Place the outside of the right hand on the left thigh and widen the chest, soften the diaphragm. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. The left hand is cupped delicately behind you, on the blanket if possible, or wherever feels most comfortable, and you'll use the buoyancy of your elbow and the side of your left chest to invite the spine to turn further, and continue to breathe. Now we're going to move into our pranayama practice, Viloma 1. So to begin, you will recline on the blankets with the pelvis on the floor. Go ahead and position yourself so that you're sitting in front of the narrow edge of the blankets. Once you're there, you will lie back. This is called Shavasana 2. And once you lie back on the blankets, place the legs straight out in front of you with the feet together and the feet lightly flexed. Now pick up the head in your hands and glance down to put yourself in an aligned position. So look at your feet and make sure that the heels, the pubic bone, the sternum, and the chin are all in one straight line. Lift the pelvis very slightly and lengthen the tailbone away from the lower back. Adjust yourself if you need to, and once you've found that line, gently place the head back on the head blanket. As you do so, delicately stretch the back of the neck so the base of the skull moves away from the top of the shoulders. This lengthens the vagus nerve, which is associated with the parasympathetic nervous system and enables the body to rest and restore. Before you release the feet, place the arms beside you on the floor with the palms facing up. Gently press the forearms down into the floor to nestle the shoulder blades back onto the back. So as you press, you lift the chest ever so slightly and invite the shoulder blades to go back where they belong, and then release the arms into the floor, soften the chest, and allow the feet to fall outwards from the midline into a soft and open position. If for any reason you feel uncomfortable here, adjust your setup, find comfort, add length, add height. If your chin feels like it's up above your forehead and you can actually touch both to check, add another blanket or towel underneath your head so that the forehead is slightly above the chin. Once you've found a comfortable reclined position, close the eyes and rest. We're going to move into a breathing practice. So here, just begin to watch the breath, allow it to soften again. You've prepared the body. You've invited the nervous system to consider a different way of being. You've let the body know we're going to do something here today. We're going to explore safety and protection and release. To prepare, take a full and soft inhalation. And exhale completely. Inhale fully. And pause. Exhale completely. Pause. Inhale delicately. Pause. Exhale fully. Pause. Now return to unconditioned breathing. Here the breath is soft. The breath is breathing you. As a reminder, if at any point during this breath work you feel anxiety or stress, simply return to this place of soft, normal breathing. To prepare, take a full and soft inhalation. And exhale delicately. Inhale completely. Pause. Exhale fully and softly. Pause. Inhale softly. Pause. Exhale completely. And now return to unconditioned breathing. Soften the skin of the eyelids from the center of each eye to the corner. As you breathe, keep the eyes soft, the forehead soft, and the jaw soft. I'm going to talk you through a few rounds of Viloma 1, interrupted inhalation. To prepare, take a full and soft inhalation. Pause at the top. Exhale delicately and fully. Into the back bottom ribs, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the sides of the chest, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the top chest, inhale 1/3. Pause. Take a tiny sip of air in and exhale completely and gently. Take a few rounds of unconditioned breathing. As limiting beliefs are released, I rest in the sanctuary of my true inner being. For another round, take a full and soft inhalation and pause. Exhale gently. Into the back bottom ribs, inhale 1/3. Pause. Sides of the chest, 1/3. Pause. Into the top chest, 1/3. Pause. Take a tiny sip of air in and exhale fully and delicately. Take a few rounds of unconditioned breathing. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Breathing in, I know that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. Now take a full and soft inhalation for Viloma 1. Pause. Exhale completely. Into the back bottom ribs, inhale 1/3. Pause. The sides of the chest, 1/3. Pause. Into the upper top chest, inhale 1/3. Pause. Take a little sip of air in and exhale delicately. Now return to unconditioned breathing. Breathing in, I know that I am centered. Breathing out, I know that I am safe. Breathing in, I know that I am centered. Breathing out, I know that I am safe. For another round, inhale completely and gently. Pause. Exhale delicately. Into the back bottom ribs, inhale 1/3. Pause. Into the sides of the chest, 1/3. Pause. Into the top chest, 1/3. Pause. Take a tiny sip of air in and exhale softly. Return to unconditioned breathing. With each breath, expand the inner landscape of the mind. I'm going to leave you here and invite you to accept the support of the earth beneath you. Relish the feeling of centering and protection, and enter softly back into your day whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for being here today. Before I leave, I want to take a moment to thank my teachers, Allison West and Caitlin Hipple, who have both influenced my approach to breathwork, and also to Geeta Iyengar for her book, Yoga, A Gym for Women, Anodia Judith for Wheels of Life, and Thich Nhat Hanh for his meditations. All of those people influence this practice, and I'm grateful for their work. Thanks so much and have a beautiful day.